Hi guys, it's Meg from Phantom Realms Paranormal.
Hello everyone, it's also Dave from Phantom Realms Paranormal.
So today guys, we're going to do our first ever podcast episode, which is really exciting for us both, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We're giving it a go, so we'll see how well we do at the first ever one, and we'll try and improve upon this one.
Yeah. Well, the setup, as you can tell, guys, is still being worked on, but we're going to get there eventually. But you got to start somewhere, aren't you, Dave?
Got to start somewhere. So, like I say, it's all trial and error at the moment. So.
Yeah, definitely. So, before we get into the topic of the podcast, Dave, I think quite a few people have asked us why we left our original paranormal team. And I feel like the best place to address it is here now. So, what would you like to say?
Why we left? Well, it wasn't anything bad, so that's out of the question. So if anybody's thinking that we've had a big bust up or anything like that, or, that's completely off the mark. All it is we basically decided we would like to follow a different pathway and do things a little bit different than the path we were currently on. That's perfectly fine. We're, going with... but we just want to go in a different direction and see where we can go with Phantom Realms Paranormal, really, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to sort of add to that there is no bad blood at all between us. Like, we've all been very accepting of the fact that we've moved on and decided to start our own team.
Yeah, we have. And we're still in communication with the old team members. So there's nothing bad going on there. So, we're all happy, we're all friends, and we're all looking to find something paranormal on camera, audio. So yeah, we're all doing it for the same reason. We all want to try and prove to you guys that there is life after death, and we're just trying to get some information on camera, and how we do that will be slightly different from the way our previous team were, that their direction, and they know where they're going, and we know where we want to go. So we've just decided to part ways. So it's
yeah, I think that's a pretty valid explanation. That's enough, and I think that's all that they needed to hear, really.
Yeah.
So, the next thing I think we should discuss is everybody's asking me about this top secret investigation. Obviously, I know we can't tell everybody about it. That's not what we're going to be doing. But do you think it's going to be worth the wait?
I think it's going to be very, very much worth the wait, to be honest. And I think once we are there, you'll all be excited to see how big an investigation it is. I'll give you a little clue. It's actually been on television, this one, and it's a big one for us. And I'm really excited to get there.
Very big one for a new team starting out. To start here in this big one is really impressive, isn't it?
It is, and I think we're going to get some great stuff from it, because I've heard some other teams have been there in the past, and they've told me some really exciting information about what they've found, and I just hope we can capture something on camera when we're actually there. That'd be great. I'll be trying to tune in, see if I can communicate with Spirit there while I'm actually on site, like I normally do. I don't like to know much about any place that we visit. I like to try and communicate with Spirit and find the information that way, as well as
that is something that you have always done. Like, even in previous investigations that we did do previously, you've never really liked to know the research prior, have you?
No, I'll just keep that away from me, because I want to have the Spirit people tell me the information.
You don't want to go in and be led in a certain direction because of what you already know. Yeah, because I remember that, because I was always tech savvy for the last team. Anyone will tell you that. So I would do the research after, and then I would tell them after, and I'd be like, you know what, you're right, guys. Like, the stuff that you found out actually fits in really well with the research that we've just sort of discovered.
Yeah, so I don't like to know any information, so I like them to tell me. That's the whole point of being sensitive to Spirit, because, as a developer medium, I'm relying on them to give me the information and not for me to research it and then tell you, because there's no point in that, really, I don't think.
Yeah, no. So, speaking of investigations, if you were to give the public like a top tip if they were going to do their own investigation, what would you say was your biggest tip for paranormal investigating?
I'd probably say keep the numbers small. You don't want a massive amount of people there, like 20 to 30 people there, because you're all going to get people making noises. You've got to try and control the area as well. You need the investigation to be, I say, ideally quiet. You can set your devices up around the area. Sometimes doing nothing is the best policy. So basically, set your equipment up. You can ask out and just sit there and listen, see if you can hear anything around the area. Watch for any devices going off, and then start as you mean to go on. Then start asking questions. If you're getting reactions to your devices, try and push that a little bit more. Try and focus on getting more information from, like, say, if you're doing a Ouija or a writing planchette, we'll try and focus on that and try and get information that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've definitely had. I definitely agree with you there, and I definitely think it's also important, like, because if you've got the team small, gives everybody a chance to actually give each bit of equipment a try, really, doesn't it? Like, it gives everybody an opportunity to explore their own gifts, and it not in the time that you're given, really.
It does.
Because would you say realistically that you are more likely to experience something paranormal in the night time than you would the daytime?
No.
Or would you say it's about the same?
No, it's about the same. It can happen anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's night or day. I've seen things day and night, really, so it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, anyway, that I've experienced in my time. So yeah, it sets the scene more when it's dark and scary and creepy and you can't see anything in front of your face. I mean, anybody, you're going to be scared if it's dark and you can't see anything, but it still happens in the daytime. If there's something there in spirit, energy-wise, it's there. It's like a human being, you can only be in one place at one time. So if you're in this room now, you'll suddenly appear. If you're not, you can't. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, to be honest, Dave. So my main question, though, really is, what actually, like, you say you've seen ghosts, you've felt things all the time. What is, like, the biggest one, like, the one you cannot deny, like, the scariest, sort of the one that's made you, like, gut wrench, like...
I don't really get scared, to be honest.
You must be so brave.
Because I've seen them since I was a kid, so I'm kind of used to it.
See, I thought this as well, like, myself. Like, I'm not really scared of it either.
Ooh, you're odd.
Like, because really interesting, I was having a discussion with my mum a couple of days ago, and she said, like, if she'd love to do it, but she's worried she might get scared. And I do find it intriguing that we don't really get scared when we're investigating, do we?
No, I've never been. I'm always wanting more, mate. When I get a reaction or I get some information through from spirit, I always want more. I'm always curious to find more. What else can they do to prove that they're here? I just want proof that they're here because I know that they are. But it's proven to you guys, getting some camera footage, getting some audio. Even the skeptics go, "Oh no, it's not real." That I want to show them that it is.
Well, see, I was having a discussion with my girls because, like, my girls were asking, about this new adventure that we've started on, and one of them said, "Are we not ever afraid to sort of, like, bring a demon home with us or etc.?" So, could you sort of just explain a little bit about how we sort of avoid that?
Well, like anything, when I'm opening myself up to spirit, I protect myself. I say a little prayer before we go into. Mediumship, a protection prayer. It stops any negative energies coming towards us. We've also all got spirit guides. It's whether you choose to tune into that. And I ask my spirit guides to draw close to me and, try and ward off any negative energies that try and approach me. I try and keep them back. And also, it's the same when you're doing a writing planchette or a Ouija board, anything like that. I mean, I don't recommend doing a Ouija board without protection anyway, because that's just like leaving your front door open. So once you've
use protection,
once you've tuned in, and you've give off a reading, anything like that, I always close it down. Again, you just close it down with a close it down prayer. Thanking spirit for working with us, and basically tell them that we come with respect. We don't mean them any harm. We just want to know more about them. So anything negative, I can feel sort of negativity, so try and keep myself back from that, really.
I think also it's important to note, like, with a few people, a lot of them will assume, because they're media, like films and stuff nowadays, you see that they'll think when they do a Ouija board or a spirit board, etc., if they just say goodbye, that's enough. Like, I think it's important for people to understand you have to physically, like, make yourself feel like you're saying goodbye.
There's ways of opening up and closing down. I mean, you can research online, how mediums do that. I've got my own little way. Everybody else has got their own little ways, really.
Yeah, I've got my own way.
So it's whatever suits you. Whatever. There's no right or wrong way to do it. As long as you don't go in blind, and it's like leaving a door open, because then anything can come through. Any negativity can come through then, and sometimes you get people, spirit people mimicking, pretending to be somebody else. That's a sign of negativity, stuff like that. So always protect yourself, no matter what you're doing. If you're messing with anything to do with Ouija boards, which I don't recommend, you only do that if you know what you're doing. Always protect yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine how many people are watching this laughing right now at the fact that you're telling them to use protection when hunting for ghosts.
Yeah, I know what protection that they're thinking of.
It's important. Yeah, it's important, guys, that that's not what we mean. Like, you need to just sort of be in the zone and be ready for it.
Yeah, protecting yourself against any negativity. I wouldn't say possessing you, I'll just say drawing close to you. You want to keep that at arm's length, really.
Definitely. But before we end, I think it's important. Do you get any sort of, like you said before, you feel negativity? Do you get any feeling? Do you, does it affect you, like, physically or just emotionally? How do you handle that?
It does. Like, I'll give you a prime example. When the first time I've really felt negative energy was, like, say, I've mentioned, I don't know whether you've watched our previous paranormal investigations, but when I went to 30 East Drive, Britain, well, it's not Britain's, it's the world's most violent poltergeist house. That's up in Pontefract. I walked up to the house after tuning in, and I felt this squeezing feeling in my chest, my lungs, and I only stood by the back door on the outside, and then I was being guided up the stairs. So the first thing I wanted to do was go straight up the stairs. Everybody thought I was mad because they go, "On, what are you doing? Go up the stairs on your own." But I was compelled to go upstairs. I was in the back bedroom, and again, I got this feeling of dread, and I kept going really, really warm. It was a cold night. I was really, really warm. I had this squeezing feeling in my lungs and in my chest, and I'm just trying to push that away. But I knew instantly then that there was something not right in that house.
Yeah, instantly, don't you? Like, I tend to, whenever I get the feeling like of negativity or there's something bad, I tend to feel absolutely, like, sick. I actually feel sick to my stomach, like, very nauseous.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember the one time I actually had to leave an investigation because it made me feel so unwell.
Yeah, I remember that one. Up in...
1:45 in the morning, and I had to get picked up by my partner because I was just not well at all.
That was up near Wombwell, wasn't it? Up that part of the woods in Yorkshire. So that was...
it was a good trip away, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a while away, but it was worth it. Well worth it. So.
Yeah, it definitely was. Right, and on that note, I think that we can end the podcast here and leave everything else for episode 2. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we did all right there, hopefully.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know, guys, if you enjoyed this and if you want more. Episode 2, I'm thinking that we should react to people's ghost stories. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm happy to hear your stories. You tell me the stories and I'm happy to listen.
Yeah, so what we'll do, guys, is if you comment on any of our Facebook or social media posts and tell us about your paranormal experiences, and I will read them to Dave and we'll get his pure reaction in episode 2. Work for you, Dave?
That works for me.
Alright, I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon.
Bye
now.
Guys. Thanks for watching or listening, whichever you chose to do.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Bye now.